Hey everyone, welcome back to Coffee with Crainer. Today I have a great entrepreneur, a local entrepreneur many of you have probably crossed paths with, Michael DiFazio, Reclaim Artistry, woodworking business. It's been growing a ton. We talked a little bit about it before we started the episode, but we're going to be talking about how he started the business, advice for young entrepreneurs, people looking to get into Reclaim Artistry, woodworking. There's going to be a lot here. I think you'll enjoy it. So thanks for being here, Michael.
Of course, man. I love it.
Michael, Mike, what do you prefer?
You can call me Mike.
Okay.
Yeah, you can call me whatever. I mean,
Michael, when you're in trouble?
I get the full name. My mom pulls out the full name when I'm actually, so does Lisa, my wife. So they both pull out the full name now.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully not often.
Not often. I mean, I only get in trouble every now and then.
Yeah. That's cool, man. How did the woodworking Reclaim Artistry business start?
So I started. It's funny because it's a full blown woodworking shop now, but when I started, I wasn't on a mission to start a wood shop. I actually started just trying to find a way to use the things that I thought were cool that I found on the side of the road. I used to find old windows all the time, and I would turn old windows into mirrors and chalkboards and corkboards, and it just ended up me acquiring more and more woodworking tools to do those types of things.
Yeah.
So I mean, still to this day, I kind of consider us more of an art studio over just a wood shop. Yeah, we work with wood a lot, like pretty much 95% of the time, but
you're teaching people, you're bringing in.
Yeah, but we're still doing like artistic type work instead of just doing like full blown woodworking. So, but yeah, like I got started by just taking action, going door to door, trying to sell the stuff that I was making, and at the time, like I said, was mirrors and chalkboards and corkboards and things like that. And old windows turned into doors. I used to turn doors into coffee tables and things, and it just kind of progressed from that into reclaimed wood, and then barn wood was a really popular thing, and I still love barn wood and all those old crazy boards and stuff. And then that turned into live edge slabs, and then the progression towards like a woodworking business just kind of kept being more and more developed. So that's what we like. I would say that we're pretty much a wood shop now, but we still focus on the really unique pieces, the artistic part of it.
So was there like an aha moment for you where you realized this is something that you want to pursue? Was there like a first sale that got you your head spinning and you're like, okay, I could really make something out of this?
Well, I mean, yes, for sure. Like I mean, when I started making art and selling it, it was so I can afford to go on tour with my band back in the day. Like I had to like make money to just hit the road and not work. Yeah. So, I started doing it just for that. So I didn't really have an aha moment then, but on the last tour that we were doing, I was working in the garage making stuff so I can go on tour, and then on tour I was like, I just want to go back home and make stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be like one aha moment. And then, I mean, as I started selling stuff, I started really seeing the possibility of like what is available through this.
Yeah.
And I will say the biggest aha moment is probably when I was able to, fast forward a couple of years of that, when I was able to quit my factory job that I had to get because I ended up in a tough spot money-wise, had to get a factory job, continue building the business. But the biggest aha moment, I think, would be when I was able to I sold a conference table when I was 23 years old for $16,000, and I was able to quit my job with that sale, and that was the biggest, craziest experience of my life. I walked into my boss's office and was like, I can never be in your shoes unless I take this opportunity, so I have to take this opportunity. And he stood up and shook my hand and sent me on my way. That was the last day I went into work.
What was that? Was it a scary time for you? Like you just kind of got up and left?
No, it was like
because you didn't know what's next, right? You made that sale. But...
Yeah. So, I mean, at that point, I made that sale, and then I got the deposit, which to me at the time was the most amount of money I've ever seen in my life. It was like $8,000, something like that. And I was like, this is crazy. This is more than enough to float me for the next couple months. So I created like a landing pad for me to land on, and then I could like chill there before I had to do something else. And like, obviously I was trying to get the ball rolling. So I wasn't just sitting around twiddling my thumbs. I got the job done, but I was still trying to get sales and grow the business.
And what year was this?
This was in 2013 is when I sold that job.
Wow.
And then 2014 is when I bought my building in Ford City. that is now where our shop is located now.
Yeah, right on Drewler?
On Drewler, yes,
Okay.
sir.
What talk to us about the building? What do you have going on in there? Is it more just the workshop? Do you have is there like a gallery?
So we've had, I mean, for a long time, every year the shop changed. It was like huge renovation after huge renovation because we were trying to figure it out. There was a point where I spent a lot of time, a lot of money, energy building out a showroom where people could come in and buy stuff, and it just ended up being a mess all the time because our business was focused primarily on custom builds. So everything inside the showroom used to just be used as as an example of we can build something that looks like this one, right? So in 2020, actually, I took a seat back because we were all forced to take a seat and just kind of sit for a minute, with COVID and everything. But I sat down and re-envisioned the whole shop, and we removed the showroom, shrunk it down so that there's an office, and we call it the material showroom now. So instead of having finished pieces for sale, we have materials as examples, so then we can just use them we can use it as a tool to paint the picture of what your custom table can look like.
Okay.
So we have physical samples, stain samples, everything in there. So it's you kind of come in and pick your pieces
Selection.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
you have a selection there. So that's what it's like now in Ford City. And the reason why we needed that is because we were expanding so fast, we had to open up the door or open up the walls essentially to make more space for our workshop.
Where did this artistic vision come from? You're very creative. Is there somebody in your life that showed you the ropes, or you don't like to sit still?
I don't like to sit still. I know that much. I was just talking to Joe about this. I think some of us as entrepreneurs, we thrive in chaos. When it's slow, we get stressed. Yeah. It's when it's crazy and we got to do 1,000 things every day. It's we get into a flow state. But to answer that question, there's a couple of my family members, my uncle, my brother, we're creative. They're artists. They paint.
Okay.
Right? I don't paint. I can't even paint the walls.
Painting
walls drives me nuts. Painting everything drives. Painting these awesome pieces of art, super cool, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
My no-no was just a collector of things, and I think I have something of both of those where I like the collection of random things, but I want to make them into something.
Yes.
So I think I kind of just pieced together a little bit from my ancestors, I guess you'd call it. And I just pieced together and I created something that's very unique now. And the older I get, the more it gets refined. My creative streaks, my visions, the way that I see things, it's matured, and I've been able to kind of really sit into it to the point now where we're building out, we're renovating a house right now, and I'm this is the biggest creative outlet.
I saw the fireplace, man.
Yeah.
Looking nice.
Thanks, dude. Yeah. So Lisa and I were both very creative, so we got that's nothing. Wait till the room is done, dude. It's gonna look insane. But we just have this big. I want things to look intense.
Yeah.
And I like when things look intense, but they're made with high end materials, so that the quality's there. But there's also a design element that's there. It's been really nice being able to refine what that looks and what it looks and feels like, especially with this house, because we're having a blast right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the opposite. I'm not creative with my hands. I can barely put a IKEA chair together. I mean, it's IKEA; they're tough to begin with, but
it's super tough.
Yeah, so I'm the exact opposite. But just to talk about some of the success that you've had, and maybe how has your role changed with your business since when you started in 2013? We were talking a little bit about it before.
Mm-hmm.
You're very hands-on in 2013. How have things transitioned?
So I actually started the business back in 2011.
Oh, 2011, okay.
And I was making things while I was in college. I was in the woodworking program at St. Clair. And I was making stuff at St. Clair and kind of selling it out the back door kind of thing. They told me I'm not allowed to tell that story, but because they don't want all the students doing that. But yeah, I was totally making stuff and selling it out the back door of the school there. And I was very hands-on for a long time, and then I started to grow a team, and then I was, becoming the leader of the team. And then eventually that turned into managing a team, and then it turned into my most important thing that I could do every day just became sales and design and stuff like that. So I kind of passed off the building, did more of the sales, more of the creative work, dealt with all the clients, handled all the clients, and just started to really focus on building up my team. And over the last 5 years, I've been off the tools entirely. Like, I don't need to be building anything. That's why I'm enjoying this house so much, because I'm actually on the tools with my hands. But being off the tools for so long, it showed me that I have a new passion that I enjoy, and I enjoyed building my people the most out of everything in the shop, right? I would get asked all the time, what's your favorite thing to build in the shop? It's the business itself, but it was also the people inside the business that I enjoyed. So I was building my team members up. I was giving them books to read. I was showing them and I was training them on how to handle things more than just the building. So I started managing people. And last year I realized that I actually care more about building people than I do about building the furniture. So I went all in and started to coach other woodworkers, like across North America now, to be honest, how to grow their business. Like, they're great at building, but like the business side is so different.
Yes. And that might be a case for a lot of artists, right?
100%. The business stuff sucks, man. Like, like I have this thing that I've been saying lately, that is, sometimes to continue doing the thing that you want to do, you have to do the thing that you don't want to do, which is like sales. It might be the bookkeeping, it might be paperwork, like, but if you don't do those things, eventually you're going to have to go get a job, and you're not going to be able to continue to do the thing that you love doing.
Yeah.
So to continue doing the thing you love doing, you got to get better at the other skills, which is like the stuff that I fell in love with. The sales, like how to negotiate, how to do your bookkeeping, how to prepare for profit, what to do when you make it, like all of these things that are basic to some, but so advanced for others. So I love teaching that stuff now, man, and it's really interesting, and it's I have to say, it's probably some of the most fulfilling work that I've ever done. Yeah, I love it.
And how are you focused on growth, like what you're teaching the other woodworkers that are trying to scale? How do you do that in your business?
So there's a couple different ways, right? Like, everybody wants to run towards ads. There's their SEO, and then there's like the Facebook ads, and then there's like the old school ads, and then there's organic. In my opinion, if you don't have the organic built up, you're not going to be able to sustain when the ads are not running. So you have to build the organic engine or the machine so that runs on the back end, so that when you start running ads, it's like pouring gasoline on a fire. Because if you only run ads, and that's the only way you're getting leads into your business, you're slave to Facebook and Instagram, in my opinion, and I think it's a dangerous place to be in. So I focus a lot on the organic side, because I want to build the foundation. To be honest, I've only ever grown my business locally with the organic strategy. I've never had any luck with running ads. And you know what? At this point, being this many years in, having as much success as we have had in the past, I can say that with, like, I can be proud of that. Like, we got this far without even needing the ads.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's when I talk to these guys about growing and scaling, they need to start there, because once they have the habits built and like solid in the foundation, then they can pour the gasoline on the fire. Now you're running, now you're scaling, now you're able to build team members and like increase everything. So that's the main thing that I run to, because it's the foundational principles that they need to learn first.
Yes. What's the greatest challenge in this business that you think people will face, you may have faced?
I honestly have to say the most frustrating challenge is that wood is a living material, right? So it's moving constantly. It's moving before it was kiln dried. It's moving after it was kiln dried. It moves with the seasons. It moves if the humidity in your house changes. Like, so wood is constantly breathing, and there are sometimes things that you can't control with the wood movement that just cause things to break or to crack or to, whatever. I just had a table I delivered 3 years ago crack this year. And I'm like, what do you mean it cracked this year? Like, so now we're going to go repair it, because it's what we do. We take care of our clients always, and we're going to take care of it. but it's frustrating because it's like, how do you solve the problem?
Yeah.
It's like, it wasn't even a problem that we did.
Yeah.
Because the table was perfect for 3 years.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's a backstory. They had a bad poker night. Somebody.
Maybe, man, if they broke that by hitting that table, someone's hand's probably looking a little worse than the table.
Yeah.
Some of these tables are heavy duty, man.
Yeah. Now, what's next for you? Like, where are you looking to take things?
So right now, I'm building it out now. So I was just kind of explaining a little bit about this. I'm actually building out something on the back end that has always existed for our shop, but I'm actually building it out so it's a product that I can sell to the woodworkers that I'm coaching. So, all the automations to get these guys to be able to buy their time back, so they're not just swamped with all these tasks on top of building. The coaching program, the tools, the actual tools that they can use every single day to measure their KPIs, their key point indicators, like all the things that will indicate business growth. I'm building out the system so they can track all these things. It's a system that's been curated, that's been working for me for years, and it's going to be more like a plug-in, and I'm going to be able to sell it over and over and over again.
Sweet. Instead
of just selling my one business one time.
Yeah.
So it's really cool because the idea behind it is I'm going to be able to franchise the back end and localize the front end, because I don't want to take the local makers out of the local like business pools in all of these different towns that we're working with. I want to make them look like the superstar, and then just run my system on the back end because my system works. Wow. They don't need to figure out all the back end stuff. I already did it. It's already plugged into their business.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm aiming to do in the future. So and the wood shop's still kicking. Don't get me wrong. Like, my main guy is taking over a lot of it, which is incredible. I'm still involved in it.
Yep.
So we're still building custom furniture, but my main focus now is to do what lights me up, and that is, helping these other guys build their businesses.
Yeah.
So we can make makers make more things.
There you go. Yeah. And how's that going so far? You enjoying it?
I love it, man. It's like the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. I have to say, like, just helping people have like their aha moments where it's like, that's so much easier to do it that way, or like, I've had mentors my whole life. My uncle was very involved. Like, he was largely involved in everything from teaching me how to make a budget to teaching me how to, hire and fire, how to pay my employees, like all of these things. And without him, there's no way I would have been at this level.
Yeah. So
I want to kind of send the elevator back down to whoever else is down there that I can help bring up, and like, be my uncle for somebody else. And just, that's the stuff that like, the new company is called Maker's Legacy, and it's not about the legacy with the furniture that you're making, although that has a legacy of its own. But it's like, I want, out of the business that I'm able to help these guys build, I want like a legacy that's going to come for their family and their communities, right? Like, whether that's in the form of buying real estate, with the profits that they make in the wood shop, and they can, cash flowing properties, whatever that looks like, or, they're able to sell a business, or just kind of take a step back and make a business that's you're able to pass down for generations, kind of thing. Because like, a lot of these guys, they're building, and they're so focused on building, they're not building anything substantial that's going to help them when it's time to retire, or when God says you're going to retire now, right? Being in this trade, man, you got a limited amount of time. Like, it's heavy, it's hard on your body, and we all going to have a retirement date, whether we want it or not,
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes it's not our choice.
That's exactly it.
No, it's good that a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs like to hold their ideas and how they got to where they are to their chest, and don't share it with others. But I think when you do share it with others, you all grow together. Right?
100%. Rising tide raises all boats.
Yes. Yeah. 100%, man. Where can people find out more about what you do?
So we got 2 Instagram pages now. We got Reclaim Artistry _ and we got Michael DiFazio _ So
okay.
The Michael DiFazio stuff is where I'm focusing more on like personal brand, helping out the other businesses and things like that. But the Reclaim Artistry, where we're taking on custom work, we're still showing off our custom work, is the other Instagram page. So
awesome,
check us out on those 2 Instagram pages, and I would love to hear from you guys.
Sweet. Well, thanks for doing this, man. If anyone wants to rewatch, visit coffeewithcrainer.com. Be sure to support Michael DiFazio, Reclaim Artistry, and all the great work he's doing. If you're looking to get started in the woodworking business, this is your guy.